Propulsion Lab at DP Summit 2024. We are in the middle of day 2. Things are absolutely chaotic over here. We had some, I don't know if you saw it, we had some connection issues, some interviews got cut in the middle. We're going to figure that all out. Everything's going to be great. My next guest is Michael Robinson from Kaleris. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining. And Michael, I wanted to ask you, being Developer Productivity Engineering Summit and Build Propulsion Lab, about developer productivity and the work you do at your company.
Sure. Yeah, so we've been doing developer productivity type work for the last couple of years. I've been coming to the summit for the last few years, which has been great. That's been my main impetus to getting the stuff done at our company, is the excitement you generate here. We've been trying to do what we can do. We've got a very small team. It's me and half of another guy trying to get this done for a company of about 1,000 engineers. And so it's pretty tough getting the budget to do that. But I think we've made some good progress. We're doing developer productivity surveys every 6 months, which seems to be a good cadence for between burnout and getting feedback from people and getting meaningful results. And then we're trying to measure as much of the software development lifecycle as we can. That's been tricky because we've sort of settled on one of the big ones being PR cycle time, which seems to capture a lot of our process. But then we get asked questions from upper management about, well, what about outside of that? Like, how long does it take before the issue gets into engineering? How long does it take for the engineer to actually code the stuff before the PR gets created? And that's what we're struggling with right now, is trying to get that kind of thing figured out.
Yeah, and this is something that along the lines that Hans spoke about yesterday in his keynote, how observability need to reach left as much as possible so we can capture more info than just like how long the CI build took.
Right. And yeah, I mean, again, it's a challenge for us figuring out just how to do that technically. We're using a tool called Jellyfish, which hooks on top of Jira, which pulls a lot of the metrics from Git and from Jira, so we can get a lot of insights into the life cycle. But it's not giving us fine enough grain detail, like how long is the code review exactly part?
We used to kind of ask engineers to log it on into Jira, the times and all this crap. Didn't work because it's pure toil.
We didn't go with that at all.
It's pure toil. I wonder if AI can help here. In the matter of AI can definitely determine that the code that you are working related to a special issue. Right, because it knows like that after enough learning, it will be able to infer that, hey, this code related to that specific issue with a high degree of confidence, and then it can generate those numbers for you, like, hey, this is where Bob started to work on issue 1 to 3, or this is how long it took for a meaningful code review to actually appear after the commit.
Yeah, I mean, we've been thinking about that, and I mean, a lot of it seems to be, I need to get a custom plugin into my IDEs. And again, we've got multiple IDEs that we use across different products and so on. And so I'm kind of waiting for somebody to announce some of these plugins that'll do these things for us, or do we take the little time we have and try and develop our own?
It's a big undertaking. I don't see like the smaller groups in developer productivity, like a person and a half, doing something like that. But I wonder, maybe like companies like the DX, right? So we heard this morning the great keynote of Abhi, and this is what they do. And I already interviewed him. I wish it was the other way around, so I could ask him this question. But I think maybe stuff like that, like tools like the DX is the answer, and it should be part of that.
Yeah, I anticipate in the next year or two we're going to get those tools.
For sure.
So my thinking right now is I'm not going to try and necessarily pursue those things myself. I'm going to focus on the stuff that I can focus on, which is these high-level metrics like just the PR cycle time. I can see the trends in that. I got my survey that'll give me the human insights into why it's going up, why it's going down. When PR cycle time goes up, I can then ask the engineers in the survey. I can see which teams are struggling. They'll tell me, like, hey, it's my peer code reviews are taking too long because the guy's in a different time zone all the time, or whatever it might be.
Sure.
So that's kind of the level I'm stabilizing on right now and just making sure everybody understands it. Another interesting challenge is explaining all this to the executives. We've got our metrics. And that was that interesting thing they showed about, like the what do they call it? The step pyramid, the laddering up the metrics. I need to do some work in that regard so that I can give the executives metrics that they like and that they're understanding, but that is still at the low level actionable at the engineering level. So.
Yeah, I get it, absolutely. I'm smiling because I hear the learning from this conference and everything you do, right? Like the surveys and the combination of the hard numbers and the result of the survey. This is all fascinating. And folks, if you want to learn more about it, probably DP Summit is the place to be, for sure.
Yeah.
Michael, thank you very much. It was very interesting to hear about the challenges and the problems. We're all waiting for some tools to appear, and obviously, fingers crossed, the industry is getting there, and hopefully it will pop up soon enough for the sake of all of us. There is a lot of money in that, so if you are listening to us, maybe you should do it. Michael, thank you very much. It was a pleasure. And you all stay tuned for more episodes of the Developer Professional Lab. We have a long day ahead of us that we are going to keep delivering all this awesomeness. Thank you, and bye-bye.